Saying Ulilevi Omer, Teos Rabim Bostoner Rebbe Zt, Kodesh Levuch, Olachai Olam Habo, Tzvus Yogen Oleinu, Amen. On Chag Shavuos, the Rebbe is, we often say that there's a question. Yeah, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu went to all the nations of the world to receive the Torah, every one of them had a temptation. Esav was asked what's in it. And it says, do not murder. And that's the nature of Esav. Shmuel, do not commit immoral acts, etc. With Klal Yisrael, we don't find there was any test. They had nothing to overcome. So Shem Shmuel explains that the test was the mitzvah of not coming too close, not jumping too high up, because the nature of a Jew is to have a closeness to Hashem. The exact opposite of being told you have to limit yourself, stand from a distance. And we find by Bali Tshuva this is very often the case. They want to right away jump from having a ponytail to having a shtreimel, having shorts, to wearing a bekisha. And a person has to know there are steps, there are stages. But of course, that shouldn't keep a person from doing less than he can possibly accomplish by saying, well, I'm only this, therefore I can't do more. In Tuvshin Mem Aleph, in 5741, he mentioned the second day of Golios in Haiwas Hahovi Gidashtoi. This is before Har Nov was established, before he came to Eretz Yisrael. But I guess he must have been a Chutz Lords. He kept 2 days of Yontiv then. Right, so even when he was in Eretz Yisrael, so he says, make a border around the mountain and sanctify it. So he mentions the Baal HaFlo explains, in the word Har, we find sanctity. Why? Because the borders of the letters Har are, if you take the Hey, around it is a Daled, before it, Daled, Hey, Vov. Daled and a Vov. And Reish has before it Kuf, Reish, Shin. Kuf and Shin. And therefore the word is Kodesh. You have a word of Kodesh. Those are the borders. And together they make the word Kodesh. That if you make borders for Torah, you come to Kodesh. It depends on how much a person is willing to do to understand what are the borders which a person has to know. I do have to make borders for myself. I am not perfect. I could fall through. Now we find in the Gemara in Sukkah 52a that in the future, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bring the Yetzer Hara and slaughter it in front of the tzaddikim, in front of the Rishonim. The tzaddikim see it like a mountain. It looks to them like a mountain. The Rishonim see it as a hair, a thin hair, one hair. These cry and these cry. The question asks itself. Certainly the Rishonim cry because they could have overcome a strand of hair. Why are the tzaddikim crying if they see it's such a big mountain? They kept the Torah. They should be happy that they were able to overcome this tremendous Yetzer Hara. The Gemara says in Kedushin 30b, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't help a person, he could not overcome. A malach, the Yetzer Hara is a malach. He's stronger than you. Therefore, everything that a person does is with help from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But still, HaKadosh Baruch Hu pays him his reward in Olam Habo. Therefore, the tzaddik, when he sees the Yetzer Hara, he thinks it's a mountain. He says he wouldn't have been able to do it on his own. And therefore he knows that he's getting a reward for that, which is called, in the language of the Chazal, Nahamod Chisufa, a shameful bread, that you receive it, but it's not yours really. It's not out of your strength. That's why the tzaddikim cry. True, it's in a sense a crying of happiness that they were able to have HaKadosh Baruch Hu assist them, but still they're crying. That's why it says in Tehillim 62:13, Ulecha Hashem Chosed, to you is Hashem charity and righteousness, as you pay a person for Kimaasehu, as if it's his deeds. And he explains it that HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows that he helps him, and therefore it's not only his deeds, but it's as if he is doing it. I'm just thinking out loud that maybe that's why Chazal tell us Shloisha Shut from Yesh Ba'odam. There are three partners in a person, and therefore since HaKadosh Baruch Hu is one of the partners, he adds his chelik to be able to overcome the Yetzer Hara. If Chas v'Sholom a person doesn't want to, then the other two parts are overcome by the Yetzer Hara. And with this regard, the Rebbe Zatzal said, we find from the Baal Shem Tov Zatzal that his yortzeit is on Shavuos. This is very similar to a Jew who was a businessman. He sells fruits, and he's on his way to go to daven with his fruits, and somebody comes along and wants to buy the fruits. And while they're haggling over the price, he missed Tefillah B'tzibur and Kedusha. And all of this was just to make a few dollars or a few rubles. And right away the Sultan comes running, you see, the mitzvah is not worth, this is the amount it's worth, $5 or $100, even $1,000. For this amount, he gave up his davening and Kedusha. However, the Yetzer Tov, the Melitz Tov, the one who intercedes on our behalf for good, says, now, when he does do daven, he goes into daven. On other days, he goes into daven. Ask him, here, I'll pay you $1,000 for your prayer. Let's see if he'll give it to you. Will he sell it for you? No, he won't. That's the Hashem HaChosed. You have the righteousness Hashem. So you pay a person according to his actions. That the chesed, he receives the schar according to the reward of the mitzvah after he does it. And there's no value that can be placed on it. In any case, the Rebbe Zatzal said, this is the Yetzer Hara that a Jew has to fight against it. And this is our work to make Kedusha around the mountain, around the Har, which we said the Tzadikim will see as a mountain, which is Hagbel Zahor V'Kidashte. We have to make our boundaries and sanctify ourselves. And therefore, we will be able to achieve V'Kidashte, that we will become holy. And we say this all the time. Noisin HaTorah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us the Torah, because the giving is continuous. May it be the will that we should be able to merit in Kedushas HaTorah, V'Kidashte, to sanctify that which is physical, and thereby overcome the Har and achieve the Har Sinai, which is spiritual. B'zerach to the Gula Shleima Meher V'Yameinu Amen.